Katie Key here in the Cluttered Corner with Jesse Raub Jr.
How are you, Katie?
I'm good. How are you?
I am honored to be here.
Well, thank you. We're glad that you're here, and you look nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob.
I'm so glad you got dressed up for me.
My wife picked my shirt out.
She did a fine job. She's your stylist, I assume.
That'll go. I like that.
Well, you have a new CD. It's called Blame It on the Music.
Yes.
And you had a lot of help from a good friend.
Yes, I had a lot of good help. I had we recorded right here in Houston, Texas at SC Media, Stormy Cooper.
Stormy.
And what a great group of guys. Lyndon, the engineer, actually played drums, sang harmonies. Cody Johnson came in and helped produce the album. I wrote 6 songs on here with Cody. And just a lot of great help, man. Everybody has been so supportive with this album and just loved what we did. And it's been awesome to be a part of it.
Well, one of the things that I realized when I listened to this is that this is a country album.
It is country. I mean, I know a lot of people have forgot what steel guitar and fiddle sound like, but I haven't. I grew up listening to George Jones and Merle Haggard, and you know, those guys kind of shaped who I am as an artist. And you know, I would when I was in FFA, you know, I'd walk up and down the road walking a pig, you know, singing George Strait songs and stuff like that. You know, so I never knew how to play the guitar. I picked up the guitar when I was about 17, realized I could write songs, and they weren't the best songs, but I said, man, I can build on this. So, you know, I did my first album, Honky Tonkin' Blues, and met Cody at Nashville Star. Cody and I both were auditioning for Nashville Star, and, you know, we kind of talked there a little bit. We kind of, you know, eyeballed each other across the room for a minute, and I could hear him singing over there, and I started singing an old George Jones tune, and Cody came up and introduced himself, and he said, hey, I'm from Huntsville, and I said, well, I'm from Magnolia, you know, and we should get together, and, you know, we did, and I've been writing on, I wrote on his last album with him, A Different Day, wrote a song called The Way She Loves Me, and I got to write with Kyle Park last year. That was my first time to come up here. Kyle didn't want to bring the bus up, so he called me, can you take me to see Katie Key? I'm like, yeah, I want to meet her. So, you know, it's been awesome. Got to write on Kyle's album. We got Cody, myself, and Kyle wrote a song called Ain't No Woman of Mine. And Cody's fixing to go back in and do his new album. I'll have a co-write on there.
That's
so
great.
Man, it's been an awesome, last year was awesome, and this year has even started out, you know, just great for us.
And you were telling us earlier off camera that you've been doing this for about 10 years.
I've been doing it for about 13 years.
Wow. So now things are really starting to happen, and you're like, this is exciting stuff.
It was the 10-year rule. You know, everybody said, you know, it'll be 10 years before anything happens for you, you know, before you meet the people. And, you know, I've got to see that firsthand from the people that are around Cody. He's got such a great team around him. And those are the people that really make things happen for you. You know, you're only one person. You can only do so much, and you can only take so much credit for the things that go on around you. You know, with being a part of this album and seeing that firsthand, it kind of blew me away. It humbled me, you know, to see Stormy come in there. You know, I was looking through the window at Stormy, and Cody and I are sitting in here, and we're kind of hashing it out of what do we want to do right here, you know, and Stormy's looking through the window at me, and I'm like, man, this is kind of overwhelming, you know, like I'm here doing this. So it's been an awesome ride. I wouldn't change a thing. I started in the honky tonks across Texas, in a place called Henry's Hideout. I don't know if you ever heard of Henry's Hideout. It's called the horniest place in Texas.
Yeah.
And there was horns all over the ceiling.
Right.
I mean, just racks and racks and racks of horns. And you know, I played there probably 3 or 4 nights a week. And my wife got pregnant with my first son. J3, Jesse Raub Jr. And I was so broke from playing music that I couldn't rub 2 nickels together. And I was like, man, I can't even buy a gallon of milk, you know. So I kind of regrouped, and you know, I realized that my business plan had to be a little different than everybody else's, because these guys don't have families, and my family comes first.
Yeah.
So for me to sit back and say, well, how am I going to do this? You know, it was just a little bit different business plan. Stopped, regrouped, and we're back again.
And going strong.
And going strong. I mean, it's like I said, it's the people around you. You know, you're only one person. You can only do so much. You can only be at one place at one time.
Right.
When you get people like Cody going out and singing songs that you wrote with him, and he's saying, hey, I wrote this with my buddy Jesse Raub Jr., and you know, he shared so many stages with me last year and this year. Cody's mom and dad actually sang on the album with me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was the first time they had sang on an album. So he was like, man, you got to sing with my mom and dad on an album before I did.
How cool is that?
I was like, wow, so his mom, I mean, she's so country, man. It was just awesome to have that raw country.
And which song is that?
I think she sang on a couple of them. Cody and I and his dad sang harmonies on Who My Daddy Was.
Okay.
And then Burning Our Candle, Lyndon, and Cody's mom sang harmonies with that. And then Can't Stand to Lose and Picture Perfect. You can hear her really, just on Picture Perfect, you can just hear that country twang, man.
That's
It's like
awesome.
Picture Perfect. Well, you got to hear it. When you hear her sing it, you're like, oh yeah, I can tell. We came from the country. You go anywhere else and they know you're from Texas. They look at you, you from Texas? Yes, I am. So it just kind of stands out, and it stands out in my music.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I think we should go back to country music. It's I've got some of the rockin' stuff on here, but I wrote about real life. These songs are about my life. They're about my family. They're about people in my family that if my life, it could be a Jerry Springer episode probably, put my pants on the same way everybody else does, and my family has problems just like everybody else's family has problems, so, I wrote about those things.
And that's what we want to hear. That's what people can relate to.
Well, I think that's what real music is about.
Exactly.
We can all get in a room and write about anything.
Right.
We can make up a song about nothing, and people think, well, that must have happened to somebody. Sometimes it didn't. We just wrote a song, put ourselves in that position, and wrote a song about it. But this is real life. This is stuff that happened. Bad Intention was a woman up on the stage sitting there just eyeballing, and I was like, that's a look of Bad Intention. Plead the Fifth. It was a joke that we were talking about. One of my buddies, Tracy Holland, he kept saying, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. And I said, there's a song, we ought to write a song about that. So we rewrote this song 4 times. And I just kept, nope, that ain't gonna do it. So when I finally sang the chorus, it was like, that's it. That's what this song's got to be about. So and other ones, I rewrote Who My Daddy Was 3 times before I really realized, man, this is where the song needs to go. It'll kind of take shape, and
yeah.
For me playing something acoustic to going in and having a band of Tracy Martin, played for Fowler for like 6 years, played for Rick Trevino, all these guys. For those guys to come in and build licks to go on your album, that's when it really starts taking shape, and you're like, oh man.
It's like, wow.
Oh, it'll blow you away.
Well, the name of the album is called Blame It on the Music, and people can get it now. And
iTunes.
Where do they want to go to get it?
iTunes, our tracks, jesseraubjr.com.
There
You
you
can
go.
get the hats, shirts, koozies.
And of course,
CDs.
go out and see you live.
Come see us live. Like I said, I've been sharing a lot of stages with Cody. I go out and wherever we're at, I've been doing a lot of radio tour across Texas, visiting radio stations. They've been awesome to us. But whenever I do end up in the same town as Cody, I'll go up there and get up with him, and it's been awesome. We're going to be doing some stuff on VFWs around Texas. We're kind of getting linked up there.
Cool.
I shared a stage. One of my favorite things I did last year, I got to share a stage in Las Vegas, Nevada, at a place called South Point Casino. Aaron Watson was headlining, and Cody was opening. And it was the buckle ceremony for the NFR, the National
Right.
Finals Rodeo. So I got to go and share a stage in Vegas. That was awesome. We ended up in Steamboat for Music Fest, Dixon Production.
Yeah.
That was totally awesome. Cody shared a stage with me there at the bottom of the mountain, and the
Wow.
outdoor stage.
Wow.
And it was totally awesome. I grew a beard, so if you see the beard, that's still me, but it's just, we had a contest going of who could grow the best beard, and I think I won.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go, folks. Well, Jesse, thank you for coming to the corner.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
And everybody, get out and get this album.
Yes, please do.